Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here on this beautiful Wednesday. I'm going to call the meeting to order of the Management Committee of the Metropolitan Council on this day of October 11th. So we have a few things to cover today on our agenda. First, if there aren't any additions or changes to the agenda without any opposition, I'll consider that approved. And then we do have our draft minutes from September 27th. Everybody's received them in advance and had a chance to review them. Are there any edits or changes? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion then to approve the draft minutes from September 22nd.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Lee. Seconded by Councilmember Osman. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, no. And thank you very much. Oops, I'm sorry, did I get, yep, I'm on the wrong agenda. Let's get to the right agenda. Here we go. We have one item on our non-consent business agenda, and that is item 2023-158. It's the Green Line Extension Amendment, Venable Contract Amendment number 2. And we've got Jim Alexander with us today and Dan Abelson. Is that?
Abelson.
Yes, Abelson, who is our Associate General Counsel, so I'll turn it over to both of you.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Jim Alexander, Project Director for the Green Line Extension Project. So today we have business item 2023-158. This relates to Venable contract. Venable is a legal services entity that's helping us, the project office and the council with the Green Line Extension. Specifically, they've been involved in settlement agreement with the civil contractor, Lynn Cross and Joint Venture, and resolving issues related to that settlement agreement. And they've also been involved in the APJV contract, that's the systems contract, Aldrich Parsons Joint Venture, in resolving issues related to extension of time needed because of delays with the civil construction contract. A little background on the contract itself, it also contains 2 consultants. There's Whitley, WIP-FLI. They are a construction cost accountant, and they are a specialist looking at bid information and other data as we look to resolve issues with both of those contractors. The second consultant is Socotec. They're a forensic engineer, and they've been integral in helping us navigate the Kenilworth LRT tunnel in Minneapolis. We've had several issues over the years with that, and Socotec's been integral to help us navigate through the issues that we've encountered. So this contract was initially set up in 2020 in July. We contracted with Schiff Harden. Schiff Harden later transferred to Venable with Ken Roberts, the primary attorney that's working for us, shifted his group over to Venable. And so the contract is with Venable. Original amount was $2.5 million. That was the estimate the project staff put together at the time of the issues we understood at the time, and we have since had to add money to that contract. Back in 22, we added amendment number 1 with $8.25 million to that contract, and we're here before you today to see about amending it a second time for $8.5 million. What we have done as project staff, we've looked at our cost estimate based on the issues we know today, and trying to forecast what we'll see going into at least to the end of 2025. We think we have sufficient funds to cover any services related. Kind of give you an idea of the breakdown between consultants and sub-consultants. It's about 60% sub-consultants and 40% of the legal services. And Dan Abelson will get a chance to talk here as well about the on the legal side of things. But Ken Roberts has really been integral in helping us advance this project, and I say flat out, it's been, I don't know what we would do without that contract in place in terms of navigating the issues we've had with the civil construction contract. So maybe I'll hand it over to Dan to say a few words on the legal side of things, and Dan for any questions.
That's great, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair and council members. I don't have that much to add. I mean, I have just echo that Venable's work has been critical to the resolutions that have been, reached on the project. I think they've likely saved significant time and money on the project, and the consultants, which are a big piece of this work, are also a critical part. Socotec has provided a lot of expert advice and engineering work on a number of matters, but including related to the Kenilworth Tunnel and the Sika building. So it's critical to keep them on, through the end of construction. So we continue to have their knowledge and help in that area.
And Madam Chair, I would add that the contract is currently valid through 2027. And again, this $8.5 million estimate would look to carry us through 2025. And the reason being is that that's close to the end of the Kenilworth Tunnel construction as we see it from the civil construction contractor. And we see that that's about as far as we can really kind of forecast, and we'll assess as we get closer to the end of 25 if there are any additional funds needed.
All right, are there any questions? Any questions? I just have a couple of questions. So this will, you think, get us to 2025, but that'll be the bulk of the work from what I'm hearing you say as far as moving through this.
Yes, Madam Chair, what's currently going on right now is we're wrapping up the settlement agreement issues with the civil contractor. You may recall that Council approved $75 million for resolution of issues related to the civil construction contract. We're kind of in the middle of that right now, and we hope to get that concluded fairly soon here. We're really going to be close to the bulk of it here by the end of the year. The Aldrich-Parsons joint venture is still something we're still working on, and recall again that same period where we received approval from the council to issue a Part 1 change order to the tune of about $20 million. That settles a good part of APJV's claim for the extension of time they're experiencing from the delay on the civil contract. But likely that work is going to go into next year, depending on how the data flows from the contractor to our experts that are essentially looking at this information to give us either yay or nay on whether it's valid or not to pay the money. And so that's probably going to extend into 24. And then we see that we are right in front of the Sika tower right now with our tunnel construction, and it's really integral that Socotec stays attuned to goings on with the construction. They have additional monitoring responsibilities in addition to what the contractor has, and so Socotec is well engaged, and that tunnel construction is essentially going to be taking well through 25 to finish.
Sounds good. And then again, the funds are available in the project budget, included in our authorized capital budget.
Madam Chair, that is correct.
Any questions? Anything else? Councilmember Lee?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. If last year we amended to add $8 million to this contract, and this year we're doing the same thing, should we expect another amendment next year for about $8 million, or between 25, 27?
Madam Chair, committee members, as I indicated earlier, we're trying to assess what we know at the time with these numbers, and at the time last year we thought that was going to carry us through. But given just the unknowns we're dealing with negotiating with the contractors and some of the issues we came up with the Kenilworth Tunnel, for example, we had some delays with the secant wall that really caused us to have Socotec more involved in that process. And it's also a function of the data coming through from the contractors in terms of getting negotiations done with the Whiffley side of things. So this is our best estimate, the $8.5 million to get us to 25, and we've taken a hard look at it, and I can't promise you we're not going to come back again until 25, but we do feel comfortable with that estimate at this time.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And not to bog this item down, but what is, I know there's information going back and forth, but talk a lot, it's dependent on the data coming from contractors. So how is that going, or what could cause delays, or could be problematic there?
Madam Chair, I don't know if it's necessarily a problem of the data flow. Maybe I should explain it that if there are questions with the data, so there's a non-disclosure agreement that's between the consultants, Venable, and the contractors. We are not party to that. Essentially, the contractor is not comfortable with us seeing the bid data, so that's where we rely on our consultants to scrutinize that data and tell us if it's valid or not. It's just a function of the quality of that data that comes through and how often it comes through, and just the give and take. So it's a lot of negotiating between the two parties to to come up with the best value ultimately on this, and sometimes it just takes more time to do that, depending on how that flow goes.
Okay, well, I hope everybody's giving it their best effort and leaning into this work.
Madam Chair, I could say that, maybe add that both contractors are being cooperative, so we're not finding resistance, and so far we're having good dialogue, and we hope to continue that.
Thank you. Anything else on this item? All right then, seeing none, we have before us the staff proposal that the Metropolitan Council authorize the regional administrator to negotiate and execute a sole source amendment to the legal services contract with Venable LLC, and that's to support Metro Green Line Extension Project activities in a not to exceed amount of $8.5 million with a total not to exceed contract value of $19.25 million. Is there a motion in that effect?
So moved.
Moved by Barbara, is there a second? Seconded by Lilligren. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, no. And that passes unanimously. Thank you so much for your hard work on this. Can't wait to get to the ribbon cutting. Keep up the good work, and we appreciate all your hard work. Thank you. Yep.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. We do not have anything else to come before us on our regular portion of our agenda. So what we're going to do is, I think somebody got this, or is it just me at this point? Councilmember Barber.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I move to close this meeting under section 13D.03 subdivision 1 of the Minnesota statutes so we can consider a labor development and negotiate it related to labor strategies.
Thank you, Councilmember Barber. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Lee. Just so everybody knows, the governing body of a public employer by majority vote in a public meeting may decide to hold a closed meeting under the provisions of section 13D.03 subdivision 1B of the Minnesota statutes. The discussion at a meeting closed under this law must be confined to labor negotiation strategies and developments only in discussion and review of labor proposals. The proceedings of a meeting closed under this law will be tape recorded, preserved for 2 years, and be made available to the public as provided by law. With that, let's take a vote on closing the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. That passes unanimously, so thank you for that. Before we do close the meeting to discuss labor strategies, I'd like to inform members of the public who are monitoring this meeting and for the record that the committee will adjourn immediately after the discussion of this information item, and that the committee will not have any discussions or conduct any business after this information item is complete. So for the record, please note that this meeting was closed to the public at 2:45 p.m. on September 27th. And right now we'll give our staff some time to close the meeting and make sure that we've got only folks who should be in the room and that we're not recording live. So thank you for that, and we'll just wait for